Let's try that again. Today is November 23rd, 2021. I am Steven Skakandi of the Skakandi Group at Remax Now, and the chemo cut is growing back in finally. Today, we're going to cover your journey to home ownership. Once again, I am Steven Skakandi, and if you want more great information about what we're going to be talking about, make sure you visit this website down here below. A lot of great home buying information. And if you need to know what the value of your home is today, over Thanksgiving dinner, which I don't recommend doing because you should put your phones away and enjoy the meal with family and loved ones, you can certainly go to this site, the tiny URL site I've set up here for you, to get a more immediate answer. Okay. So without further ado, let's talk about your journey to home ownership. First thing is you want to go ahead and build your team. And one of the things you get with us, besides, Dawn and myself, you also get access to a fantastic lender that helps out all our clients, Carrie Cobb, with Movement Mortgage, an exceptional attorney, homeowners insurance individuals, other things like that. So what we want to do is go ahead and get you with people that can get you the answers you need and that you feel comfortable with in the process. So that's what we're going to help you with that team. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to check your credit score. Now, you've probably been keeping up with it on Credit Karma, and that gives you some kind of idea of what you got. And then, if you're a member of Navy Federal, they have free credit monitoring apps through their credit union that they offer. That's an option too. Just know that those vary a little bit between what the lender does and how the lender checks your credit and what you're able to find out on your own. So there just might be a variance in between those two data points, as well as the fact that there's TransUnion, there's Experian, and there's Equifax. And you'll notice there can be a pretty big swing in between those three monitoring agencies and how they monitor your FICO score. And the FICO is the one that you want to use. The next thing is think about boosting your savings. Now, one of the things that many of us have access to is that wonderful VA loan. With no money down, you can purchase a home. It's 100% financing. However, you should still think about having some money aside for things like repairs, for things like closing expenses, for items that can pop up along the way. So although the VA loan is 100% financing, plan for that contingency of having to have money that you put into the property yourself. Believe me, that the adventure, the journey, so to speak, will be that much easier for you if you go ahead and do that. Then once we have those things done, the fourth thing we're going to do is we're going to know our numbers. So we're going to look at the total package. We're going to look at your principal and interest payment, as well as taxes and insurance. And a lot of people think, well, if I live outside the city limits, I live in the county, I'll save money. But one of the calculations that we're going to do is we're actually going to sit down and crunch the numbers and see, okay, fuel is X. And if you're driving an F-350 dually diesel, hey, living in the county might not be cheaper because all that money you would have saved, you'll be paying back and more so in terms of fuel costs. So we just want to take those things into consideration as well. Then when we go house hunting, we're taking everything that you've wanted, everything you needed, compared that to what you can afford. And then we're going to go out to find the things that most closely fit that description. Of course, like high school chemistry with the old bell curve, the 80% solution is really the 100% solution in this market because all our resources for everyone on the planet are finite. And therefore, we all have to play the game of trade-offs. From there, we make an offer. We'll sit down and we'll cover things such as terms and consideration, as well as other things we could do to make our offer most competitive. And lately, we've gotten pretty creative with some of the things that we've done to put you, the buyer, in the best possible, chance of winning that offer. Then, once we've gone under contract, we'll plan for the appraisal and the inspection. Once again, this is where having some money set aside really comes in handy. because depending on the property, where it's located, and its condition will determine what type of inspections we want to get. 8, we're going to make it official. Well, on that closing day, we're finally going to sign all those wonderful documents. So make sure you've been squeezing that tennis ball to get ready for all the paperwork that we have to go through. Most of it's stuff we've already seen before, but you've got to see it again. And then 9, move into your new home. Usually that's the day after closing, thereabouts. It depends. I prefer closing in the morning just so you get keys that day. But for safety's sake, let's plan on the following day. Of course, when you meet with us, we go into far more detail, but I don't want to make this too terribly long where no one watches it because attention span's an issue. So thanks so much for tuning in. That's Down and Dirty, your brief journey to home ownership. Also today of note, November 23rd in 1889, the first jukebox opened, and it could play one song. For a nickel, it could play exactly one song. So I thought about that when I was out and people use their iPhones to play the jukebox and control the music in the room. Well, you couldn't do that until 1889 when you could play one song for a nickel. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll go over housing numbers for Pender County. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.